Welcome to episode 3, 3027, part 2. We're here to do this thing. Eddie has still not made his character, and he only has 1 week left to do so. If he hasn't done it by next Sunday, the special deal that allows me to get these for a good price will end, and thus you will never see Kuro Seppaku. It just won't happen.
If he doesn't do it by this week, we'll make one for him that is an elephant man.
What is it with you and the elephant man thing? You're really obsessed with this.
Why not?
And the irony is that I was the first one to actually provide a description of Kuro.
That's true.
Now it's the
but now you have to follow through.
Yeah, exactly.
The start of this episode is going to be a little bit looser than normal. Eddie, you have some things that you need Kuro to do, and thus he's not going to have time to do anything else. Sam, you also have things that you need to do, namely talk to your boy Sir Owen Faber Lake Reincolt. There's a number of political and how should I say this, lineage related issues you need to resolve in the immediate future.
Nice.
Jasper, you don't have anything you need to do, so feel free to just interject a scene or two wherever you need. My understanding is Kuro and Lachlan have tentatively agreed to join this expedition, and Jasper has stated he will absolutely not join it under any circumstance.
Cool.
I think
I have a scene.
Yeah,
sorry, I have the perfect scene that should be interspliced with everybody, and I want to establish it first because it's going to be a continual scene.
Okay.
Going back and forth.
Sure.
But basically just Hot Blooded's playing while we're doing a beach volleyball scene.
Wow. Okay.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Good addition.
Who's participating in that?
I feel like anyone can if they want to,
right,
but I feel like my team is me and what's his name? I'm looking up his name.
Wait, it's Hot Blooded instead of the song from fucking Top Gun, Playing with the Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Playing with the Boys. That's right. No, of course it's Playing
with the Boys.
And I think it's gonna be where's his name? His name's not in here anymore.
Ice Cube.
No, my second
Goose.
in command. No, the people, the mech assistant people.
Oh, you're talking about
your tech lead.
Davies.
My tech lead, Davies. Yeah. Oh, there's House Davies. Jesus. I was like, looking at my sheet. I'm like, where is it? So 1 second. Let me put that there here, so I can see it in bold or something, so my eyes can catch it. Yeah. What's his name? Goldmasters.
I might have it in my notes.
Probably like Edmund Davies. Something like that.
Control F Davies.
Wait,
here.
but if I remember correctly, Lachlan said he was only going to go if the whole group decided to go.
Edward Davies.
Edward, Edward, sorry. Yeah, Edward.
Yeah, and it wasn't 100% that Kuro was going to go.
Okay, so you have not decided yet.
Yes.
No, we have decided.
It was wait, what? Did we? Because the last I remember, we were talking about it, and it was Kuro had brought up a very valid point that someone could try to do something while we were gone, and everyone was like, "Wait a minute!"
No, you two voted. You two voted to go, and I was outvoted.
No.
Do this. What is going on? AP, stop the tape. This is wrong. Nope. I'm just kidding.
Here's what happened. Lachlan said he wanted to go, but he would go with the decision of the group. And then Kuro, I thought, said he wanted to go, and then Jasper said, but then Jasper said, I'm not going either way. And then we were gonna say that, okay, that means that the whole, like, Lachlan is out because the whole group won't go, but he's gonna be pissed off because Jasper didn't go with what the group, like, he didn't go with the majority vote.
Oh, I'm going. I said I would go anyways. But like, this is
I love that everyone's
517. Everybody
what actually happened is
everybody
wrong.
at 517. Everyone at 517. I would love to have Jasper commit to making a better name for himself on a planet and making sure that Laura's cool with him, but I can't leave my friends alone with these assholes. I like that moment where you all are gearing up and said, when I said I'm not going, and then at the last minute I'm on the ship. I said this. We're doing it.
That was my recollection as well.
But I don't know where this fucking other alternate memories happen. Like, this happened.
I mean, let
me cut back to the volleyball scene.
Okay.
Your opponents are James Jives and Emil, and they are the villainous bad guys who are better than you. You know, they're doing like the over under
playing them round one.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
round one. You're playing the
I'm not
expert
playing with
team.
the boys. I'm playing with the men. Then what the fuck?
Oh, boy.
I mean, James Jives is
All right.
of an equivalent age to you, and Emil seems like, even though he's in his mid 40s, that he might actually be really good at volleyball. James is constantly setting for him, and Emil is just like thunder smashing.
Spiking.
Yeah, he's a dunking.
Oh no, it's not even just a spike. He's doing like cut shots. So you think that you're gonna block in front of him, and then he shoots right across the line from you, and you're like, oh shit. Sometimes James gets in there and does a dunk on you, where he just taps the ball over.
My years of living in California respect what you just described there.
Oh, thanks. I watch the volleyball anime Haikyuu, and so I know a lot about volleyball now.
It's literally it's that shirt. It's like literally just a shirtless scene with the fucking aviator glasses, and they just go my hands and like high five each other. Absolutely, man.
And then it's like it's the high five where you do this and this.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know, and like I'm just like dusting myself off from the sand after missing a dive.
Down. Oh no!
Like yeah, man. Like this is all I want. I don't care if I win or lose. I just want this scene to be happening while everything else is going on.
It's the high and low five.
Does the sign in the background say like the all summer long interstitial volleyball tournament?
No, it's the Immortal Warrior tournament.
It's like the league. It's like the league. It's the Summer Volleyball League.
No, like
the Immortal Warrior tournament.
Everyone, just take a minute for how much of the visual effects budget went into just this stupid scene. It's like in the background, like we have like the fucking mechs being worked on, right? Like in the distance that are like slightly blurred out, and you know, like and we're just like playing in the foreground where there's the fucking like beach on the other side and the sun's coming. Oh man, like it looks great. Because of course, it's literally just fucking Southern California, like fucking Marine Army base. Because of course you. Yeah, like it's just.
Of course, you have your Mechwarrior bay, like in your repair bay, just, like on the beach.
I mean, the hangar is like in the distance.
You gotta get ready for the kaiju. I mean, like,
that's
while we're just fucking with our sunglasses on.
Whittington kaiju.
So if we're hijacking this to make it into Top Gun, Pacific Rim.
Nope, I'm stepping sideways now. The next scene is another one of the. What did I end up calling the show? I finally named it last time.
Son of a More Warrior?
No, it's called
the Downton Abbey one.
Yeah. Pride and Royals. It's a scene from
Pride and Royals.
So it's the
wait. Is the family Pride? Because PRYD.
No, but I like that.
Like
actually.
the one.
Yeah, like Aiden Pride. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say what's their name?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
I vote yes for that.
Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
That's good.
The two titled characters are together. The mid 40s leader of the Federated Sons analog and the teenaged tank commander of the Lyran Commonwealth analog. And he's got her against the wall with the hand over her head because he's so much taller than her, and he's leaning in. He's tilting her chin up, and he's just like, so what have you learned at the New Avalon Institute of Science? And in the background, you could see like all these New Avalon Institute of Science recruiting ads, you know, like posters are everywhere. And then she turns to look up at him and blinks, and then it cuts on the commercial. And somebody's like, no, this is the best part!
That subtle advertising.
Yeah.
So good.
No. I assume that it's just like how the United States Army and the Japanese Self-Defense Forces have inserted themselves into cartoons and anime like consistently, or how basically every Michael Bay movie is just a United States Marines recruiting ad.
Oh, that's how you get access to all the sweet gear and stuff and the endorsements.
Yeah, exactly. New Avalon Institute of Science is absolutely putting out, like, they fund the show for sure.
You have to portray that.
I imagine the trailer of this is like playing on a giant billboard kind of screen on the beach with like the volleyball happening and like the mech bays on the side.
Lachlan is wearing his Nace hoodie.
Exactly. It's the first time we've seen him not in formal wear or like a mech pilot suit, and he's just got like one of those like college hoodies.
Oh yeah, it's gray and it's got blue lettering and it's got the shield of Nace on it.
Exactly.
Yep. Wow. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
All
dear.
right, we need to cut back to reality. What other scenes are we doing?
There
from
goes
anyone
gravity.
else?
That's all that's
No,
real.
stop. You gotta
all right.
stop, guys.
I can
Sorry,
do
man.
I can do the Chancellor
I'm so
scene.
excited about my fucking volleyball scene.
Hey.
I'm so hyped for it. I'm so amped.
I mean, I'm just
All right,
I'm just allergic delirium. It's all good. My allergies are kicking up. But so I mean, I've got a couple of major scenes that I got to deal with. Where do we want to begin? I guess
think
maybe Jacobson.
Sam said he wanted to do his.
We can go to Kuro
Okay.
first because it sounds like Kuro's got more going on.
All right, yeah. So you're
dear.
meeting with Jacobson in his high-rise office, looking out over the spaceport at the Jacobson Unlimited building. He's wearing like a cravat with a enormous like ruby gem as the placeholder on it. He looks kind of like Lachlan in his Solaris high fashion, but imagine that he toned it down so it looked like something a normal person would wear. It's actually more like, instead of being like 5 years ahead of the fashion curve, it's like 200 years old. It'd be like someone wearing something Victorian is what he's essentially wearing.
Okay.
I
imagine Kuro is wearing something with kind of like a crossover button, and has like a medallion of some sort, or some maybe more like a choker kind of thing. Something stylish that a man would wear, with like an amethyst gemstone that's very purple, kind of like, and then highlights with the family colors, so it's kind of like a family heirloom kind of gem. And he's standing looking out into the city, probably towards that mech bay on the beach.
So he says, my apologies for my appearance. I'm attending a murder mystery tonight.
Oh, are you the murderer?
I don't think so, but I won't know until I arrive.
I wish you luck in your investigations then.
Thank you. Surely I'm not as skilled an investigator as you, what with all the criminals you've been rolling up lately.
Yes. Well, that is all part of hopefully a larger plan. It's troubling to see some of the consolidation that is happening under Bassett, but I hope that it reveals more truths than lies.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
I'm sure you don't.
I have several offers here about the teaching opportunities that you had wished. The Outlands Alliance is... You know what? I bet you it's Outworlds Alliance, and I just fucked it up again.
I think it is Outworlds.
It's
Alliance.
Outworlds. It's Outworlds. I keep saying Outlands because I was raised on the Mortal Kombat movie and how amazingly bad it was.
Oh my god.
You're not wrong.
I now need to rewatch that just to punish myself.
Oh boy. I mean, definitely don't watch number 2 then. Number 2 actually is punishment. Outworlds Alliance. He says the government on Alpharats would like to offer you an opportunity on 19 different worlds. It would basically involve removing a large portion of the staff you have on planet here and shipping them out across a wide area of space. Now, of course, my jump ships that I lease and the drop ships would be more than capable of delivering your people and bringing them back at the conclusion of this in 1 year. The first contract that they wish to offer you is a simple teaching job for the military. Minimum possible instructors, a set of instructors for the general public in order to help raise awareness and public order, and of course help teach courses on some of the more basic, obviously reading is the first thing you would need to teach them, since literacy rate is incredibly low.
Literacy leads to further education, so of course.
The second contract they would like to offer is considerably more lucrative. Are you familiar with the term military advisors and the connotations that go with it?
Eddie as a player like has some idea, but not much.
Basically, they want you to hook up with the military. Like if their worlds are attacked, they want your people to be fighting beside them. Essentially,
I see. Okay.
They would be little more than mercenaries in that case.
Okay. I mean, I think Kuro would be intrigued by this. One, because I think that's definitely a forte for his trainers.
Well, I mean, just to be clear, these people are going to be used to help put down like rebellions and stuff. You'll be used against the citizens of the world. Instead of teaching literacy, you'll be 100% of the time be teaching military tactics, ethics, strategic thought, close quarters combat, and then an advisor will be assigned to go on a raid with people to, capture a criminal or something, and the advisor will basically be like, all right, well, you're not from around here, so we don't have any jurisdiction over you, so bring whatever weapons you want and use whatever level of force you want.
You just like to put me in sticky situations, don't you?
I mean, they're offering you they're offering you a huge contract compared to the other ones, specifically because they want you to take this option. They'll take anything they can get, but they definitely like the idea of having trained military officers, former military officers, paramilitaries, and like trained self-defense instructors, help them round up all the rebellions that they're currently undergoing. That's, and for a good price.
Yeah, I think so. I think Kuro is probably mulling this over, and there's like a pause, and he, obviously addresses Jacobson. It seems interesting proposals, to say the least. And then
should note that when you drain your supply of trainers on this planet, it will of course affect your business here.
Yeah.
Now there will be commensurate. I mean, you can see here that this deal is quite lucrative for travel expenses, per diem, all of that.
So I think Kuro would be thinking again on the tactical level, being is that's one of his fortes, and he would consider the proposals and try to maybe blend them where the military advisors are less of a
no. These are the two solid contracts they've like. Even communicating with them will involve going out
so
several,
it's a long,
because they don't have hyperpulse generators. They're gonna have to travel there in a jump ship.
Just to get a communication.
Yeah, and that's going to take at least 6 to 8 weeks. So these contracts have been pre-negotiated at these are the only offers we can accept, and they're good money.
Tricky.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it works in their favor in this regard, right?
Like, no, and that's exactly it. Where it's like there's no real, because it's kind of pre-negotiated. There's no real Kuro's kind of like caught between a hard place.
But this is also like where, in theory, if you don't like the contracts, that's where you pressure Jacobson, right? Is like you're not offering enough. Jacobson, but he has the cards. So
Jacobson is just the communicator in this regard.
He's the intermediary, basically.
Wouldn't he be doing the contract negotiation when all of this was outlined? Because he's the one who takes the drum chip out there.
That is a fair point.
He is simply delivering the idea and the demand. He's not doing any negotiating on anybody's part. A thoroughly neutral party.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't necessarily want to mention that, but I think the mercenary one, as lucrative as it may be, would actually be distasteful to Kuro just because of his philosophy. He feels like he's putting a lot of he's putting his trainers in a bad place, essentially. Is what he feels like that is doing. One, he's involving his trainers in the politics of those regions, which is counter to what he's trying to do. He wants to educate the masses and elevate them to then have stronger forces for future endeavors.
Sure, but the kind of strength you're talking about comes 10 to 15 years down the line.
Sure.
That's the only case that I'm making.
Okay.
You've made your choice, and so you fill out the contract, and he sends you a list of like where your people need to be, like which dropships can take them where over the next few weeks.
Sure. So with that though, what are the stipulations of this decision? Because like I want to kind of fully understand what Kuro's deciding here.
So
he's sending his trainers out. Does that mean that he doesn't have them here to be able? Like,
yes, that's correct. You're going to lose one asset at the end of the year for not having your people here doing their job that normally makes the money. Because you're taking the training option, you will gain 2 assets. For all of that with a bonus in case they do well. So essentially your operation here is going to be understaffed, and it's not like you couldn't absorb this, right? But maybe you're going to have to cut back on some community outreach, not going to be able to do as much charity work. It's going to be down to putting people in classrooms and teaching them.
Sure. Okay.
That's kind of the one problem with your operation is it's hard to scale up fast just because like it requires competent people, right?
I mean, and I'm thinking of the whole Muad'Dib situation where he essentially trains like 1,000 of his warriors.
That happened in the Battletech universe.
Warriors.
It's called the Genyusha. Yep.
Okay.
So the warlord chose 50 people, and those 50 would train 50, and they would become a wave, which the Federated Sons would die under.
But yeah, so I mean that's kind of like I kind of imagine that's kind of the training mentality of the Sepalka family.
Okay, all right. Meanwhile, across the planet, at the halls of power and government, let's talk about Sir Erwin Faber Lake Reincolt. He is currently wearing a tutu and like a little like princess crown, and holding a very tiny teacup in his massive hands as he receives you at the Lake Estate, Lachlan. And as he opens the door, he says, "Welcome. Please come in."
Why, thank you. Always a pleasure to come by. Lets himself in. I think, Lachlan's wearing like a suit and stuff as usual. He's probably got like some like House Lake cufflinks on or whatever to like, a little touch for that.
It's a little much, but in the background.
Yes, exactly. It's a little much. It's Lachlan, right?
In the background, a 4-year-old gremlin wearing a ballet outfit with a magic wand goes screaming past both of you, and you hear Sir Lake go, stop, Harmony, you're too fast.
The Countess is getting so big these days. It's remarkable how quickly she grows.
Yes. I will send for a servant to help take care of her for a short time. Please step into my study so that we have a discussion.
Yeah, he'll walk on in.
So he removes the princess crown and sets down the teacup gently and says, "There are many problems currently across this world."
I see. And which of these many problems can I help you resolve today, Sir Erwin?
I have to tell you, Lachlan, that I believe that you are overly arrogant.
Oh man, I guess Lachlan will just smile a little bit and will say, I'm not the only one in this room who could be described that way, Sir Erwin. Yours is just a more subtle arrogance.
Perhaps. What I require from you is a successor.
I see. Well, I'm pleased to inform you I have one on the way.
I meant my successor.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm very interested, as you know.
Yes, I'm aware that you would desire and crave power at all costs. That's what worries me. However, you are the most competent person on this planet to take my position up. And I would hope that one day you might curb your enthusiasm for enthusiasm.
It saddens me, Sir Irwin, that you still take my desire to help all of Whittington on a rising tide that
Please
lifts all
leave
boats.
The campaigning outside of my office. I am here to have a serious discussion between men.
I'm simply trying to get across the fact that it disappoints me that you still think that it's just campaigning and not my true belief.
I believe that you would not mind improving the lives of those around you, but you want a piece of it in the process.
As I said, I think the tide should lift all boats.
Yes.
When those of us in the nobility benefit, we spread the benefit across the entire world and even beyond. Just look at the work of my friend Kurosapaku.
They say he is the only honest man left on this planet.
Where does that leave you, Sir Irwin?
In charge.
So, you want me to be your successor. I want to take over the role. What's stopping you?
I would like you to apprentice with me for some time. See what it takes to actually run the government. If I die, someone must guide the government until Harmony is old enough.
Very well. I have for let me see, hold on, let me think, how would he put this? Okay, yeah, he's gonna say I absolutely want to see the McDougal family and the Lake family continue to grow closer, and this seems to me an excellent way for me to do just that. I would be honored to take such an apprenticeship.
Before you agree too heartily, part of it would require what I am going to term as daycare services for the Countess.
You want me to play nanny?
He gestures to his tutu. We all make great sacrifices in the name of Whittington.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I guess Lachlan would probably agree. He's probably not really thinking it all the way through, but
I
sure.
understand that you have 2 children on the way, which is another reason we are having this discussion.
I do indeed. I'm very blessed to have 2 twins on the way.
Is there anything else you have to say in that regard? There have been rumors.
Oh?
Nothing confirmed.
Rumors
regarding you and Sebastian Bassett entering into some sort of deal.
I have told Sebastian Bassett that I was seeking somebody to marry young Celeste once it came time for her. I have great interest in seeing her succeed in life, even though she does not bear the last name McDougal.
Indeed. And so she will not be your successor then?
She will not. And Sebastian knows this.
In regards and an expansion to our earlier discussion, I would not be opposed to Celeste becoming a playmate and perhaps even handmaiden to Harmony.
I am ecstatic to hear that. From what I know, they already get along quite well.
In the way that only shrieking children can, yes.
Yeah, that chuckle was both in and out of character. Yeah, he just laughs. I will say, Sir Irwin, I have thought after my natural heirs are born and all of the paperwork is arranged, have thought of approaching Xenia about giving Celeste the name McDougal. I think it may help her in her time on this planet, and I do wish to see her aided in any way I can. But I have to make sure that it is okay with my wife.
I see. Have you given thought to the issue of secession? Your offspring are the heirs to 2 noble houses.
I intend to speak with Xenia on it. However, I think it's only right that a unification of 2 houses should be a unification, in which case it would be 2 seats held by 1 person.
Indeed, you might think so, but I would tell you to again check the charter. It would be but 1 seat. I caution you greatly against such a unification. While it may solidify your financial and military power, it will forever diminish your political power. Well, I've completely fallen out of his voice right now.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. I think Lachlan takes that pretty seriously. He nods and is like, you make a very valid point, and I suppose I'm in a position I hadn't quite expected when it came to 2 heirs coming at one time. Perhaps it represents a unique opportunity.
I would say that it puts you in a better position than only 1 heir.
Certainly. You knew my father, sir, when he was never the type to leave it at only 1 potential heir.
He was a bastard.
Lachlan just gives the most just a shows his teeth type smile, smiling because he has to. Exactly. Forced smile.
I apologize. My conflicts with your father were legendary.
Yes, well, it's no secret that I did not get along particularly well with my father either.
Have you found anyone who did?
Well, my elder brother, no. I honestly, no. Though I haven't been on planet very much when he was alive and I was not a child. You do, I'm sure, remember when I left. I hadn't been much around until the disaster.
He takes a sip from the tiny teacup.
Yeah, I think Lachlan, it's very clear that Lachlan is not comfortable talking about this. He's just if there's nothing else, Sir Erwin, I did have one other thing I wanted to give you a heads up on.
I see. And that is?
I can't give you all of the details. However, I do want to let you know that I will be taking some time off planet this year. So I would appreciate not having to butt heads upon my return.
I see. How about this? I will provide you with a schedule which I hope will fit into your current business empire, by which you will attend my work as de facto ruler of this planet, and will also include your time with Celeste and Harmony.
Perfect. Excellent. Do you have a scheduler? I can have my scheduler talk to your scheduler.
I have a series of schedulers. I have a head secretary who has 4 secretaries under her.
Well, no need to brag now, sir. When we're both very busy men, lots of schedulers.
One day it could be yours. if you could just pull it together.
I can field a lance of secretaries. Yeah.
I appreciate your
Battlemech pilots.
Though your compliments do come with many a barb, Sir Erwin, I do appreciate them nonetheless. I don't take lightly the faith that you are placing in me with this role.
I mean, he gestures for you to leave at this point, like politely. He's not, not like dismissing you, but that sounds like a good end of the conversation.
Yeah. Lachlan is more than happy to be done with this.
Next volleyball team is Sebastian Bassett and Xenia Menshikov. She's like almost half his size and height, and so they're having a lot of trouble coordinating, and whenever he yells at her to do something, she does it immediately. So there's a lot of her setting and him spiking. Sure. She almost never is on the attack. They are not as good as your team.
We're playing with the boys, so it's all good.
I will say that he does spike super hard though. Like he is bigger than you, he is fitter than you, he's older than you, and he spikes like a motherfucker. So when he gets it over the net, it hurts.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine Edward's doing that exposition that you just said to me, right? You're like, I like wipe the sweat off my face, he's like, he hands me like a Gatorade or something or whatever it would be. He's like, man, he's like, he spikes like a mother. Watch out for them. So I the setups, like it's like he's giving me like the tips, and then all right, on 3, let's go. And I'm like, set up, and he surfs. Like it's just that simple. Then we go. I love this shit, man. I love this shit.
I'll tell you what happens.
Express every character, every NPC on how they play volleyball.
Yes.
So okay, just keep going.
I'll tell you what happens. Sebastian Bassett keeps trying to pull off jump serves, floaters that he can't do. He's trying to deliver floaters, and he just can't get the aim right, and they're constantly like dropping before or after they should.
Go Seabass, you can do it. Taunting him.
Yeah, you're infuriating him.
Wow.
Let's cut to.
He hates it when I call it Seabass.
Yeah. Let's cut to in Kuro's office. You're beginning your investigation. You see on your holoscreen is just outside this building is a ceremony where like Sebastian Bassett is shaking hands with the local mayor and like several planetary business figures as the press is just like Baron Bassett, and he says, please, the office of special investigator Sebastian Bassett is fine. And they're just like, how do you feel bringing in the largest crime bust in Whittington's history? And he's like, how do I feel? Fantastic. All of the funds being seized will of course be returned back into the public. With this money, we can return to Whittington what is. Now, if you'll excuse me, my lance mates and I have a short training session with our new Battlemechs. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And remember, we're only safe if we keep an eye on each other. And when he says that, on
That's
the side
like police state level.
On the side of the building, an enormous poster like explodes and the poster rolls down, and it's him like saluting towards the Lake family crest, and it says we're only safe if we keep an eye on each other, and everybody's like clapping and cheering, and like one reporter is like, a chilling statement with 2 meanings. Sebastian Bassett, crime lord or crime investigator?
Yeah, I think
it's literally written in fucking like the USSR, like Republic North Korea USSR font. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh dear.
No, come on. This is the Federated Sons. It's a happy font. It's not Comic Sans up in here, but
no. It's like
it's papyrus. It's totally papyrus.
It's the XCOM font. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
XCOM, all the posters.
So you've started an investigation. You know Sebastian's going to be out of the office for several hours. He has been purchasing Battlemechs at an alarming rate. He's got almost 8 Battlemechs to his half name now. All of his bros are getting them, and they are not trained mech pilots, so he's like buying instructors for them and training them himself. But there is a lot of replacement of joints and arms as they like trip and fall all over the place. Sometimes they accidentally shoot stuff, like they accidentally blew up somebody's barn once recently, and like they had to replace the barn. It cost them like $1 million C-bills in terms of like the lawsuit. But yeah, like he's rapidly expanding his military forces, and you're not really sure where all that money is coming from.
I know where it's coming from. That's actually part of the investigation. So let me break it down.
Coming from.
Let me break it down to you, AP. How this is. All right. So first off, can I clarify that from the beginning, Kuro's intention was to not just do this in a one-shot investigation.
Sure.
Like this is something he's been essentially secretly utilizing his skill set, which is stealth, investigation, and several other things. But
all right, well, let me tell you something. That folder you've got, that conspiracy board you have, is currently empty. So tell me what you can do to change that.
All right, so there are several skill sets.
You have a lot of suspicions, but
yes. So I mean, first things first. I think what the way I want to describe this is Kuro essentially building a net in which to catch the things that Bassett does not want people to see. So for instance,
my question is this net information based or is it people based? Are you setting up electronic tracers somewhere or checking security cameras, or are you creating contacts within Bassett's organizations?
Fair. So I mean, in terms of like the skill set that I have, or the skill set that I am, well, how do I describe that actually? So
here's my question. Are you talking to people, or are you personally following him in a wetsuit and a stealth, like a silenced pistol?
Yeah, it's personally me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I want you to start by making a stealth check.
Okay. So I have a +5 to this roll.
Okay.
That's an 8 + 5, 13.
Okay. It's not all the time. Like, occasionally you get noticed by somebody. No one knows it's you, but they know someone is following them from time to time. It's not 100% of the time. But most of the time, you are capable of following the man himself and his crew around wherever he's doing things. I think that you also do like Metal Gear Solid style. Whenever there's a private meeting in your office, you're like pressed up against the wall and you're hitting the R shoulder button to hear what's happening around the corner. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm using like tracking systems and encrypted communicators to like maybe coordinate with
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the knowledge you gain out of it.
Okay.
A lot of the people he hangs out with in his crew are like really petty criminals. I mean, I'm talking the kind of pettiness that's like when they walk down the street, occasionally they punch somebody. They're definitely, some of them are doing illegal street drugs. Bassett has his work phone and then like his personal cell phone, but then he has two other black box cell phones with like military encryption on them, and you're never really sure who he's talking to, but he's always the one that calls out on them.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have the skill in computers to maybe like actually try to debug those. That sucks. Okay. So I think that's like maybe the initial web, right, of people that he's the tracing of his contacts and understanding like his network of informants and other things like that. I don't necessarily have the big fish yet, but I have some of the smaller fish, and maybe through those people I'm tracing them and investigating their past and their connections and starting to make maybe the bigger fish. Does that make sense?
Okay, make an investigation check.
Okay. So this is a +4 on the roll. That is a 9 on the die. +4 is another 13.
You are one short.
All right.
So you're
Wait. Is there a way that I can bump that up just with like a story point or edge or anything like that?
You're missing the smoking gun. Like you got a bunch of what's the word? Circumstantial evidence, but you don't have that smoking gun.
I'll tell you, you're gonna get some stuff here, but nothing you'll be able to use in court.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have it right. Like your thoughts are right.
Yeah.
You have the fucking like interview people. You have the accounts, but you just don't have the evidence. You know,
okay.
You don't have you need that solid thing that ties them to the place.
Is there any way that I can bump this up without re-rolling?
Yeah, re-rolling. That's it.
You can't tie the shell accounts to him. You know, like that last bit isn't there, and the connection, tying it back to their beginning, It's a secretary of a secretary.
I mean, because my chance of getting it. All right, I'm gonna re-roll this.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You
re-roll
need
the
a 5
4.
or a 6.
Yeah.
I believe.
I don't. I think you're gonna fuck up.
Yeah, definitely.
I got the same
four
thing.
again.
No way.
It was
Okay.
it like teetered on a 6 and a 5 once or twice, but fuck. So I have a +4 on this. Fuck.
Yep, 13. All right, so this is what you get. Bassett absolutely has some sort of Shell Corporation game going on. He's not buying these Battlemechs personally. They're being bought with funds that are not part of his personal accounts, because you've got some trace on it. At the very least, you know that he has to like have some sort of publicly facing tax documentation. They're being bought by a third party corporation and then being like lease loaned to him at an incredibly low rate.
Okay.
You know, like dozens to hundreds of C-bills per month for these. Totally legal, but extremely sketchy.
Sure.
Second thing you notice is that he occasionally meets with someone. You have never met him, but we recognize him immediately as Arkady Aki Herzog of the Aki Herzog Criminal Consortium. They used to be the Aki Herzog Yakuza, but now they're like the Aki Herzog Mafia. So you've never seen this guy before. You have no idea who he is, and he doesn't show up in public security records.
Okay.
He doesn't show up in military intelligence. You think you have a partial of like what his between like his height, weight, and face type. You think you might have got him as like a recent resident, but it's not enough to like get a confirmation.
Wait,
the match
hold
is
on.
only like 50%.
Question. He wouldn't recognize him even after Eric brought forward a proposal to legitimize this dude?
him.
Or is this dude not
This
like,
is to legitimize all of the arcabs, not just him.
Okay,
It
got
wasn't
so
like,
he's not a public facing community leader of the archives.
Correct.
Got it.
He's the foreman of Jasper's, you know, like farmlands.
Right.
Again, I don't think he's got the kind of, he's not a public figure in any way.
Right.
You know,
Right.
he's a crime lord.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And he's not the kind of crime lord that's like, all right, let's go down to the restaurant and, you know, clear the restaurant out. I will eat there alone, and then I will roll a joint and smoke it out the window as I go past the pigs. That's not him. Like, he works entirely in the shadows.
Gotcha.
So from my investigation so
The
far,
only discerning factor beyond his obvious Arcadian descent is that he carries a short sword on.
what does that tell me? I guess.
I mean, at the very least, he has a license to carry a weapon. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not that hard to get in the Federated. It sounds like any citizen would be able to get it, but it's a very unusual weapon. You know, it's like a short scimitar, and that is pretty uncommon. He might be some sort of art collector, or, you know, it might be a religious artifact of some kind. You don't know, maybe he's a Sikh.
Okay. All right. Well, so I guess two things. So he's clearly connected to several petty criminals. That's his like kind of
No. This guy only meets with Sebastian Bassett.
No. I meant like I'm saying like the case that I'm building with Bassett. Like
yes.
his primary entourage is a slew of petty criminals.
Yeah, like, you know, the cops could arrest these guys, but they're all gonna lawyer up in a way that, you know, they'll just bribe a judge or kill a witness or something. They have more money and power than they have crime.
Right.
As far as you know.
Well, yeah, like the surface crimes, it's like they can't be caught on anything.
Yeah, you know, they get picked up with a bag of weed. This guy's not going to jail.
Right. So I guess what you're saying is that in my investigation so far, I have not had any solid evidence to incriminate Bassett himself.
Not on a 13, no. You have plenty of some suspicious stuff. Those phones really stand out to you. If only you could get some way to just do something with that. But, you know, he keeps them on his person at all times.
Yeah, I mean,
and they got encryption. You don't know who's on the other end.
Get him with the honeypot.
Wait, what? Well, what?
You know what a honeypot is?
I know what a honeypot is, but I'm trying to like imagine how
That's
that
a
would
pot
look.
filled with honey, bro.
You send one of your people to seduce him, and then have them steal the phone once he gets undressed.
Oh my goodness!
I want to point out that is illegal.
Yeah, no shit.
Is it though?
Yes, and
Yeah, 100%.
I want to remind you all that Kuro is an active military officer.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's also a counter intel guy, and like, if
he
there's
does not have permission to do this against the citizen of the Federated
absolutely
Sons.
not.
Work with Audrey.
But it would be in his playbook. You know, he's probably also not allowed to use military channels to investigate private citizens, but he does that.
Definitely does. He definitely fucking does that shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, like there are some.
I mean, look,
like,
Kuro is
black
slightly
eyes.
more corrupt than we give him credit for.
No.
He abuses his position in very petty ways.
Well, no,
it's never that bad, you know, but
it's more of like
if there was an ethics audit of him, he would be in a little bit of trouble.
he would definitely be in some trouble.
Yeah, he would probably
There's
be
no
on
such thing as an
probation.
ethics audit in the Battletech universe. So
Yes.
especially in
boy, there
intelligence.
is.
I know, I'm kidding.
Let me tell you about Comstar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, so I'm trying to think here of like, because I mean I've built somewhat of a web, but I don't have any solid evidence, and I'm trying to think here of, and I'm open to other players offering me something if you have any ideas of ways that I could potentially tighten this net to get one solid piece against Bassett.
Well, I already gave my suggestion, and you guys got on me for it being illegal.
Well, maybe. I mean, I think maybe the honeypot is a good
just with
idea.
the amount of time you put into this, you don't have it. What you're looking for, you don't have.
So I mean, my thought was that this is something I did from day one of work.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now that your rules have not borne it out. You don't have what you're looking for. This is you at 3 o'clock in the morning with a cup of coffee, staring at a board with red line all over it, and you go, and I have nothing! And you smash the cup on the table. Coffee goes everywhere. Someone goes, fucking McNulty. This is The Wire. What you're looking for, you don't have it right now. It doesn't exist.
You need something more. Yeah.
That's one reason why I was asking if there was a way.
You're either gonna have to take incredibly bold action, or you're gonna need to take more time.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of
Heist the phone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But I was thinking of a way to do
All right,
it.
I want to tell you, like, stealing a phone from the Office of Special Investigations chief investigator, this will put you in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
unless it puts Bassett in prison.
No, because Bassett's, you don't have to steal that phone. You need to steal his criminal phone. You have to steal his burner phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah, if you get caught trying to steal the phone off of him, that's treason.
No, because he shouldn't have a phone like this in the first place. This would be undisclosed.
He's a baron.
He's
a baron.
It's perfectly legal.
Phone. Okay,
it's 100% legal to own an encrypted phone.
But the point,
it's just
the point
sketchy.
is, though, is that there is the phone you need to take, and you'll get in a lot of trouble if you take it. But like, I don't agree with this whole like military premise thing of that you can't take this phone that way. It's that this is the criminal burner phone for personal use only phone. And obviously,
I mean,
you did
just
his secretary
AP,
or his right hand man is the one who has this phone. Like you have to steal Stringer's phone.
Yeah, you did say that I was the one providing him authority with warrants to confiscate and do all sorts of searches and stuff like that.
So they aren't warrants; they're search authorizations. And when you don't provide them, it slows things down. He does then need to go through the longer process of getting a warrant.
Right.
It just take a step back. Like it is 100% like a worse look to be caught stealing from a special investigator than just from 100%. A regular person.
Right.
Even if the phone isn't connected necessarily intrinsically to being a special investigator, it's like the context of the person you're targeting are going to like elevate the level of fuck up it is in a society. Like
here's the other thing to recognize intimately about this. You can try him in a criminal court, but because he's a noble, he can just bounce it up to noble court, in which case it's going to be a battle of reputations between you and him, who you can line up to like slander him and who not. Like as a noble, all of you can do this. Like if you were arrested for, if someone gave you a parking ticket, you just be like Noble Court, and the police would just be like, oh my god, and then you just go to Noble Court and be like, this cop isn't a noble, and I have 5 people lined up who say I'm a great guy, and the judge's bench, which is going to be like 3 other nobles, are just going to be like, all right, I don't know why you brought this to us. Like a parking ticket is not worth our time. Throw it out.
Yeah, it's like diplomats. It's like
you guys. I mean, you guys are one of the
basically
10
diplomatic
people
immunity
on planet who have this ability, and the jury of your peers is literally going to be the other baronies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess like from that perspective, then would Kuro recognize to shift his investigation into something where he ensures that there is evidence for the other barons to recognize Bassett's behavior as something that is detrimental to their positions, or like, you know, any known enemies of Bassett kind of situation.
I mean, your known enemies of Bassett right now are all these criminals he's rounding up. And it's going to be pretty tough to find someone to say, oh man, rounding up criminals, that's...
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of like the understanding the larger scheme of politics within the noble sphere, to provide them evidence that is like a convincing enough evidence to convict this other noble of a criminal action, for instance. Because you were saying that like even if I can't find something, or even if I bring him to criminal court, he can elevate it to noble court, right?
Correct.
So I'm thinking of that next step where it's like I can't just convince the criminal court. I have to convince the nobles as well.
Yes. You can't convince them of nothing right now, which is what you have. So now look, if you have a solid criminal bias against this guy, you can take it public, and his own people can perform direct action and basically like kill him in his house in the middle of the night.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's direct. Okay, so in the Federated Sons, there are a number of rights and legal abilities that citizens have, and that's the reason why the Federated Sons is all like American freedom. Fuck yeah, we're gonna free everybody. There's an unspoken right that is written into the charter called direct action, which is when the people of a noble subset are unsatisfied with their noble, they are legally allowed to like make a run and try to kill them. Which is why most baronies and countships have like 1 or more Battlemechs. It's not just to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna support the military. It's also like my life could be in danger one day, and I need to be able to put these peasants down. So if you make a good enough criminal case, his own people might kill him in the middle of the night.
Wow. Not with 8 Battlemechs on his side.
I mean,
criminal justice, but yes,
it only takes you pissing off the cook. And
or burning his house down. Like, you know, a Battlemech does
fair.
not protect you from fire, like a fiery ceiling falling on your bed in the middle of the night.
Okay, so what you're saying is find the right evidence and then start a whisper campaign discrediting.
There are numerous avenues, but right now you have nothing.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to, do you wait for more time, or do you take some sort of very bold, possibly reckless action right now? If you don't have anything immediately, it's okay to just step aside from that.
I mean, I think the bold action is to either go for this phone or to make this mystery individual of the mafia.
I like the idea of going for the phone because, in my opinion, going for the phone has both the highest potential for upside and downside, which makes it funny to me.
Plus, if you also get the phone and there's something happens, you can also just release the phone to the commoners and they can direct action with that as well too. Like it doesn't remove it off the table.
Right.
Sure. Right.
But also, if you get caught, it'll be really bad and I'll laugh.
Well, I mean, fortunately, I'm also very good at escaping.
You can't miss when you come at the king. Okay,
That's
you can't
definitely
miss when you come
true.
at the king, so you need to acquire more evidence. I don't know. Maybe the answer is maybe you do something so you can get the phone that makes it easier to get the phone. So maybe you don't go for the phone yet, but you do something that sets you up to make.
So question for you, AP. I do have enough XP for that last roll to bump it up by 1 if I were to increase my investigation skill by 1.
No,
too late.
No, it's already rolled. Yeah, it's way.
No. I mean, I was because I just don't know the system and how it works. I was. Just
I mean,
there.
the consequences of the roll are already on the table. You could certainly bump it up now, but it's not going to change what we've done since then.
Okay,
exactly.
So what I think I want to do is I feel like there's like a level of frustration, but also the tactics, and I think
break the coffee mug at 3 a.m.
Yeah, and I think Jonna wakes up at that point.
World's second best detective,
and she notices my frustration. And
have you told her about this investigation?
I have not specifically told her
the
details of it. I've told her that I am investigating criminal activities.
I mean, she's really worried then, like, because she knows that a war is coming. Suddenly you're not talking to her anymore. You're staying out late at night. You're disappearing.
Yeah.
When she asks you where you were, you can't tell her. Like, Jonna is not a highly emotional person, but you can tell that she's become very sad and irritated about this whole like you're holding something from her. And so when you wake her up in the middle of the night, she doesn't move, but her eyes open and she just stares at you from the bed.
And I think there's like a moment of Kuro just like and he looks over at Jonna and probably like notices like either she diverts her eyes to like
no, she doesn't divert her eyes at all. Like you turn over to look at her and it's like your flickering computer monitors, the light reflecting off of her eyes.
And like my face is just distraught and just like and Kuro looks at Jonna, takes a deep breath, stands up and walks over. I might be doing something a bit reckless, but I think it may resolve ultimately what happened in the bombing.
Is it going to end all of this?
Yes.
All right. She holds a hand out to grab your hand and says, then do it. Because we can't live like this.
And I think he like puts a hand on her face, just like attempting to be comforting.
Yeah, but she kind of shies away from it.
I mean, totally.
You woke her up in the middle of the night, and she's super pissed at you. Not because you woke her up, but because you're lying to her and keeping things from her.
I say it is for your protection that I do not tell you more than.
All right, she rolls over in the bed to look away from you.
That would never. Why do you think that would work? Why do you think that would work?
And then she pulls the covers up and says, "I guess I knew what I was getting into when I married a soldier.
Yep.
I just didn't think it would be
an intelligence
like this."
officer, nonetheless."
Dude, how many Tom Clancy movies have you seen?
Not any. Never.
Like, seriously, go watch Jack Ryan or whatever, and like tell me if that move. If that
The Hunt for the
works.
Red October.
Nothing works.
That's fair. Nothing.
Every movie, every single one of those movies starts the exact same way, with you getting a call about to go meet the president, and you have a dinner date, and you have to apologize for not being there, and they're mad at you. You don't win. It's just it's part of the job. Okay.
Look, in all seriousness, if you're looking for late 80s, early 90s military games theory, Red Dawn Rising might be one of the greatest novels of that era. Red Dawn.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, I mean, it covers everything from a massive naval battle in the Atlantic to the invasion of Iceland.
Wow, Red Dawn Rising. Okay, I'm gonna read that. So I think there's like this tense scene with Jonna where she's upset at me.
Yeah, she's upset at you. As Jonna, I'm upset with you. So yes.
And Kuro just like, I need to end this, and finds the resolve. So I think Kuro's gonna plan a heist where
kind of heist.
I mean,
like a honey heist?
He's like a what?
Honey Heist. It's a
Yeah,
tabletop
exactly.
RPG.
Yes, I know what it is. I have a T-shirt that literally has all the rules on it.
Okay.
It's a time heist.
Nice. I've worn it
Time
on the show.
Heist.
Yeah. No, I go into Xenia's backyard and I steal the device. No.
And you blow yourself up.
Exactly.
It's Red Storm Rising.
Yeah, Red Storm Rising.
Red
Thank
Storm
you.
Rising.
Yeah.
You don't want to read.
Red Dawn.
That's a romance
Okay.
novel.
Red Dawn?
Maybe I do.
No, Red Dawn is amazing.
Red Dawn Rising. Red Dawn Rising
sorry.
is a romance novel.
Well, first off, Red Dawn is incredible.
Oh yeah, like Wolverine.
Gosh. Oh my goodness.
What was it? Simpsons or no? Family Guy did the musical version of it. I'm a Wolverine.
Oh my god.
I fucking died. All right, what are you stealing? When are you stealing it, and where?
Right. All right. So I've been casing Bassett, as we did a stealth roll previously where I kind of paid attention to his what he's doing. I know roughly his schedule because of my situation where I'm assisting him in the different actions of the special investigations.
Your knowledge of his schedule extends like 48 hours, maybe at best. He is constantly going off schedule to do things as part of special investigations.
Sure. And I feel like I have enough information with the rolls that I've made already where I'd be able to know a good place where he might have his guard down with those phones. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So the place that you can catch him at, where you followed him to this place before, it's like a beach cabana place where he and his boys hang out and crime together. Like minor petty crime together.
Sure.
Approaching it will not be difficult, but you will need to be disguised in the process.
Oh, of course. I'm going full ninja.
Okay.
Like this is like Vega would be fucking proud of this moment.
I will require 3 rolls from you, and depending on the successes or failures, I will tell you what happens, and or you might get shot at some point.
Sure.
The first roll is streetwise. You need to be able to fit in here.
You should have come to your buddy Lachlan, the tech genius, and I could have been your Q. I could have given you a bunch of fancy gadgets.
Wait,
It's
can that
just
be a
a
possibility?
pen. I mean, look. The more people you bring in, look, you're gonna bring in Lachlan.
Don't bring Lachlan in. Don't bring Lachlan in.
God.
No.
That's a horrible move.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I mean, the blowback on Lachlan could be really bad if it's.
Lachlan does not want to know that you were doing this.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, no. So.
Streetwise first.
Man, that was one of the things.
Streetwise is literally about getting in with these petty criminals and hanging out in their crowd. You need to be able to move through the area. This is a man who's about to drop some XP in Streetwise.
Well, yeah.
How much XP you got?
I have 6.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably good for 1-2 points. At least 2 points, right?
I mean, this does seem pretty serious. It's for 2 points.
It's 1.5 times rounded up. So yeah, you could do.
Well, the first one
XP.
is the first one is 2.
Yes, you have to buy them in order.
So 0 to 1.
The first one is 2, and then 1 to 2,
and then 1 to 2 would be 2 again because it's 1.5 times rounded up.
Oh, okay.
So 0 to 1.
It'd be 4.
That's 1.5. So rounded up to 2, and then 1 to 2.
Yeah. I mean, this makes sense. I think. I mean, this was a skill that I had taken at the beginning, but then decided because of like where it was going, I needed to allocate differently. But this is something that I had planned to build into before. Okay. That makes sense.
So for 4 XP, you can buy 2 skill points into it.
Or wait, would it be 3? Because would it be 2 times 1.5?
It's 2 times 1.5 divided by. Oh yeah, you're right.
So it'd be 5 total. So 2 for the first jump, 3 for the second jump.
Yes. All right. So for 5 XP, you pick up 2 points of Streetwise.
All right.
Let's make this roll.
That puts me at a 4 bonus.
Okay.
So I have a 4. I'll have to fix my character sheet later. Okay, cool. Of course, you choose the one skill that I have.
Don't worry, there'll be more skills that you are better at.
Yeah. I'm guessing stealth might be involved. Or
Disguise and stealth are going to be the next two.
oh, disguise. I don't have anything in either.
Oh boy.
You just told me you were going to go full ninja undercover with this. So...
Yeah, I know.
That was your word.
Well, how about this? Is that charisma based as well?
Yes.
Disguise?
Yep.
Okay. Does it make sense for me to split my skills, disguise and streetwise?
Get +1 in each rather than +2 in one.
It would be cheaper. You would save an XP.
That's true too. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So streetwise and disguise will be the same. It'll be +3.
Let's roll it. So we're taking a lot of time to do this.
Yeah, sorry about that. But it is something that's been kind of going on for a while in the background. So all right, that's
okay. Next up is disguise. Okay.
Wow.
No. Stealth?
Well, no, I mean, you're not letting me use edge or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, you could certainly attempt to re-roll any of these if you'd like.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to re-roll that 1.
Okay, yeah.
And I got a 5.
Okay, all right. What's your total?
So 9 plus 3 is 12.
Okay, that's a success. So you have 1 of 3 successes.
Okay.
Stealth.
All right, I have a +5 on this. So 6 plus 5 is 11.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So 2 out of 3 successes.
You do not get the phone. When you get close enough to him, you try to infiltrate the bro party, and you look like a bro, but you never can get your criminal isn't good enough to get you into that inner circle, right? You're with the girls that are dancing, you're with the young men that are trying to get close to Sebastian, or at the very least, they're just showing up to show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never get close enough to the inner circle to make a snatch on the phone, but you do catch a moment where Sebastian Bassett steps away to make a call on the phone, and you overhear for the first time what he says, and you hear him go, "Arkady, yeah, do it now." All right. Okay, I need to get back to things. And then he hangs the phone up. Have a name.
Bum.
Okay, so Akadi. Do the thing now. All right.
The next scene is all 3 of you and your wives at the finals volleyball tournament where Jasper's team is supposed to be playing. Instead, the entire audience is turned towards the screen, the holo screen, where James Jives is going. And as we've been following this story, citizens of Whittington, it has certainly evolved even faster than the hyperpulse generator is capable of providing. Justin Shang arriving on Solaris, taking a mech from his own business partner, using it to win victory after victory, going up against his former enemy, Philip Capet, the current Solaris champion, finding and killing his way through all of Capet's men, and arriving in Valhalla Club in order to take the rightful seat of a former Solaris champion, his business partner, Gray Norton. Philip Capet versus Justin Shang. Justin Shang piloting a modified Centurion with a AC-20, one of the largest and deadliest weapons a Battlemech can wield.
Wait a second. I have to interrupt you real quick because while this is going on, can we all just picture the fucking graphics of this and how good it is? It's like the NFL shit where it's like doing the fucking 360 model thing, and then like half of it turns into the fucking schematics, right? And it's like points up and zooms into the AC-20, the fucking Kaliyama symbols above it spinning. Like,
I assume that this holo monitor is provided by Harridan Electronics on Coventry, the HoloSense.
And Lachlan is probably so into it. Like, this is his favorite shit.
So it cuts away from James Jives to the local reporter, like the Solaris announcer, and shows a scene from a few days ago where Philip Capet is waiting in his battle mech for Justin to show up, He has a fire starter and an urban mech hidden inside. Like his team is like massive compared. Justin is just fighting by himself, and they're fighting for the Solaris Championship title 3v1. Capet draws him down into a cavern after shaving off some of his armor, and Capet is waiting to wait for him to walk past and then step out and shoot him in the back. And the problem is that Justin walked down the entire length of the cavern where the cameras weren't, backwards with his arms looped up over his mech, so that when he steps out, he's facing fully towards Justin and in front. And Justin is not piloting the Yenla Wang. He's actually piloting Gray Norton's Rifleman, which is much bigger, not particularly well armored. Riflemans are notoriously shitty, but it does have a lot more weapons. And at the end of this, Capet gets alpha struck. All of the weapons hit his cockpit, and the Solaris champion is killed. So now not just one, but two Solaris champions die in a very short span of time. Justin returns to the Valhalla Club, where he is dubbed the 6th section, which is open Battlemech fight, grand champion of Solaris. And so people here are shocked. This is a traitor who, sold information, works with the Chinese Tongs. Now he's champion of Solaris, and he's piloting using a cable from his cyber arm. This shit is so wild. Someone's just this must be out of a book or something. Sebastian comes over and wraps his arm around Kuro and is like, look at that. Now that is how you pilot a mech. He's real buddy with you too. Yeah.
Lachlan's just shaking his head. It's like, that should be my title. If only.
Didn't we think that Zhang also wasn't a good pilot? Wasn't that something you mentioned the other day? That apparently he had to run away from an Urbie? Yeah.
So the rumor was that he
his gunnery is terrible, but his piloting.
Yeah. So No, you're mixing up two different people.
That was
Yes, sorry. You're correct. At his trial, it came out. He said that he fought a rifleman, but he was smeared and said that he fought an urban mech instead. He insisted that he did in fact lose to a rifleman. The person you're talking about, who is a bad gunner but a good pilot, is Yohei Genji, who is here for the volleyball tournament. As he is the judge of the tournament, and he's nodding, this is a
he
solid
fucking
warrior.
Sits in the fucking lifeguard chair, all pissed off the whole time.
Yeah.
Point Iroka.
No, let me be clear here. His relationship with you, it's not like he goes out of his way to talk to you, but since he apologized, he kind of, and as well, Audrey, they both don't make an effort to talk to you, but neither have they made an effort to smear you in public or...
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
They're trying to let it be,
Yeah, they let it go.
Let bygones be bygones, and you can get the hell gone.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can go back to playing with the boys. I got it.
So Yohei's just calm. Everyone calm down. The tournament will be resuming. Turn that holo screen off. We are all here to perform fun and business, and we will do so in an orderly manner. I would like you to make an athletics roll, Jasper, to represent you and Davies versus the final team.
You for real?
Nice.
Why are you doing this to me?
Have you even invested in that?
Let me tell you something. You're the one that set the scene up, so...
Well, I didn't know. That's not... How did I even make it to the finals? That's the question.
Power of being a player character.
Okay. All
Plot
right.
armor.
My athletics... Well, my strength is 2, and my athletics is 0. So I'm rolling with a +2 here.
Okay.
All right, I'll take these 2 dice.
All right.
How you getting to spin like that?
12.
The final team, by the way, is Rosamond Robinson, Alice Robinson, and Jonna von Hohenheim.
Oh no, they're so
Nice.
good friends.
What'd you get?
12 total.
What? Listen, It goes into overtime. It goes into double overtime. There's no way for you guys to get.
We're really playing with the boys.
There's no way for either of you to get the 2-point differential you need to win.
Yeah.
At
The
some
sun's
point,
going down now. Now we got some fucking synthwave vibes going with the sun. Oh man.
I mean, the
Love
sun
it.
is setting, and Yohei just like he calls it and goes to speak with both team captains, which is Jana and yourself, Jasper. And he's like, "I would like to declare a tie, although by the tournament rules, we will continue if you require it." So I want to be clear that Jana looks like she's been working out her incredible frustration with her husband via this match, and she, you know, she's in like the sports bikini type thing, and it's just, I'm good to go if you are, but you could tell that she's not good to go if you are.
Oh.
While
I mean, I wouldn't insult her by being like, we should call it. That sounds terrible. No, I'll look at her.
Point of pride.
Right. And I'd say, are you sure?
She's like, are you sure?
It's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a little. I might have like hurt myself a little bit back there.
All right,
like I'm
look,
trying to think about.
look, if you want a tie, we can take a tie. Okay. All right.
Right.
She holds out a hand for you now that you've offered it.
Exactly. Right. And I look at Edwards. I feel like this is the right call to make, and I'm gonna do it.
Edwards is in his like 50s, so at this point,
He's
after
just
playing
like, oh,
volleyball
God.
in the hot sun all
Oh,
day,
thank God.
he's just like, ooh, okay.
At this point, like Lachlan has set up the grill and is like grilling out in the apron, like sunglasses on.
Oh, you guys did you triple collect the tongs?
Volleyball! Yeah, exactly. Woo, volleyball.
Sebastian appears and just openly pours a bunch of alcohol into the punch bowl.
Yeah, no. I would say due to injury, I would say my partner here has an injury, and that we should delay it as a tie. No, yeah, but I think
you know, it'd be really fun.
But I think Edwards would suggest it. I know I'm looking for the
You can't.
I'm looking
he can't
for the
breathe,
elegant.
So when the tie is mentioned, he's like,
Yeah, like I'm looking for the like the elegant way out that like doesn't like really hurt anyone that much, where we can like tie but like in a respectful way.
Yeah, no,
and obviously
listen.
like an injury would be like, well,
Yes.
let's resolve it there, right? And so that's what
all
we'll
right.
call it.
So his wife comes out and is berating him. She's like, "You're not a young man anymore. Now you get over here. I have some sandwiches. You need to get your blood sugar up. All right, just take this."
Playing with the boys.
Yeah, you're in playing with the boys, and she's like, "You're too old for this. You have grandchildren. Sit down, drink this." She like pulls out a towel and is just telling him off. What
You
am
don't
I going to
understand.
do with you?
Victory was in my grasp.
As soon as this is over, Rosamund disappears immediately, as if in a shadowy mist. Jana does not talk to Kuro afterwards and just begins.
I want to talk to Jana.
Okay, yeah, she begins circulating to talk to people as if, this is unusual for her to talk about anything other than economics. She is openly avoiding Kuro at this point.
I mean, I'm the 30-27 Whittington summer volleyball champion.
Yeah.
Tied.
So she's wearing her iconic New Avalon Institute of Science hoodie.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Lachlan
Is repping her.
other side. Totally.
God.
No, Lachlan's got the grilling apron, and it's like an apron that just has a suit on it.
Like a full body bib apron.
Exactly. Like that of those grill aprons, but it's just got a suit.
Yeah, so Jana just holds a hand out for you to shake and says, "Hey, excellent work, Baron Hiroka."
Please, the honor is mine. That was a tough match. That was kind of I haven't had to fight that hard for anything since the time with my my brother. And like I go back to like when I was like 12 or something, talking about a tournament or something.
Are you telling her this, or are you flashbacking in your head for this?
Oh, I'm flashbacking in my head.
Okay, so when you do that, she snaps her hands in front of you and is like, "Are you okay?"
Sorry.
You look like you zoned out.
It reminded me of of the last time I had
you start
to,
flashbacking and she
I
immediately
mistired.
cuts that shit off. It's like, there's no flashbacks in this episode.
Get this flashback out of my face. And listen, I was, and also I want to say thank you for helping me get out of having to play another round of that, because I'm pretty sure I would collapse.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I wasn't doing
privately,
too well. I just
Okay.
thought Rosamund did amazing though for a new mother, especially.
That's news to me, right?
You've heard that her offspring might be your secret love child,
right?
Rosamund. So this is not news to you at all.
Yeah,
she's not that new of a mother.
Yeah, I mean,
2
Celeste is 2 years old, but
Um,
Jonna is also not polite.
that's fair.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I would probably mention then something like something to the effect that, yeah, that is super
Oh
weird.
my god, I love the
I
idea.
hope she's
Yes.
okay, and like, how is she doing, by the way? Like, I haven't been around, we don't really see eye to eye or really talk, and with the rumors and stuff, I felt like it'd be better to not even, I don't know, it seems like rumors always follow me around, and that rather I didn't want to make anything worse.
So she tosses you a water bottle and she says, I wasn't aware that you knew Rosamund that well.
I don't. That's why I'm asking you
I
how
see.
she
No,
is. We don't really
So she looks at you and says, so it's true then? Can't approach her in public?
No, it's not true at all.
She opens a water
I'm just
bottle
afraid
herself.
of making it even. I'm just afraid of making it any worse. Why is what I'm doing making it worse? I'm stuck at this. It's half the reason why I love Tamari so much.
She turns over her shoulder and looks to see Kuro, like looking at a data pad instead of talking to Jonna, and then she looks back at you and she says, "Trust me, it would be difficult for you to make things worse. You would have to be very bad at this."
Cool. Well, I'm definitely not bad at it. That's cool. Awesome,
How is
wonderful.
your wife?
She's the best. She's actually getting ready to be a like. Do a
Yes,
little,
I
like,
heard
hair
that she
flex
left
thing.
for the New
Aero
Avalon
pilot.
Institute
No,
of
she
Science.
hasn't left yet. She hasn't.
No,
has
she
yet?
left.
Oh,
She
has
left
yet.
the day after Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, then fine. Oh, damn it, man. I thought that didn't happen yet.
No,
Oh,
we're in like mid-June now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's asking you, like, have you been staying in contact?
Oh, yeah. We have nightly chats all the time. And then, like, we cut back
just to be clear, nightly chats are basically...
Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah.
It's one way.
But then, right, but then, like...
You can record a video for her, and maybe in the next 2 or 3 days it'll arrive.
Right. But what I was getting to was the point of, like, again, I start entering a flashback, right? And all of a sudden, like, you see me, like, on my motorcycle as she's flying away.
Wow.
And then, of course,
Just
she, like, snaps her fingers again.
Yes,
goes,
she does.
Hey.
Are you sure that you're okay? We need to get...
Sorry. Yeah, no, I was thinking about...
Why don't you drink that
Tamari
water?
again. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, well...
Listen, I hear,
she says something really bitterly, like, oh, it must be nice when a husband shows concern for their wife.
Look, hey, that's really that. I was like, I kind of like put my arm around her. Is like, is it really that bad? Like,
She turns to
really
look at
quietly?
Kuro, who is still staring at. You know what? It probably is now. Kuro is holding a data pad up, and like he's like middle distance focusing on Sebastian Bassett, but all she can see is him looking at the data pad. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Listen.
And like there's
I don't
like
wanna
maybe a coffee, like when everyone else is having margaritas and like Kuro's just drinking coffee.
This might be a little forward, but want me to say something about it to him?
I mean, you're
Can I
putting
bring it
your
up to
arm
him?
around me. Forward was distant after that.
Oh, I'm
if
sorry.
you feel it's important to say something to him as a friend,
like-
please do.
I don't know what she wants from me.
Yeah, that's good. She doesn't know what she wants. She's just pissed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I immediately withdraw my arm from her. I thought it's like as like a comradey thing. But
Yes, I understand, but she's also very mad at her husband right now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I'll talk. Listen, I will. That's not right. Something my dad always said is that
You should beat some sense into that boy. No, he didn't say that. Okay,
no.
my apologies.
No, but he did mention that a mech warrior is only as good as his family. And that if his family's not working correctly, then his mech and his piloting isn't going to work correctly. It's a relationship that you have to learn, you have to work for just as hard as in a cockpit. And I'll talk to him. You got it.
Do you know what he's working on?
I mean, I wish it would be exonerating my bad name, but it's probably not that.
She turns towards you to give you a baleful glare, and she says, I heard that public security cleared you. Is it another woman? Is it Rosamund?
No, I'm not.
Is he the father?
I've never had an affair. Oh, it's I don't know. Honestly. And then, like, again, flashback to the part of, like, I miss him, man, as, like, we're, like, hugging. And so I was like, honestly, I'm not really that close to him when we don't really talk a lot. Like that. We're guys. We don't really talk that way.
All right.
But, like, listen, I will do it. I'll do it for you. Because, like, that's not fair. That's not fair. Let me help you. And I got you. And speaking of getting you, what do you want? Burger, hot dog?
I'll go get my own. I think you need to sit down and take a drink.
Stop telling me. I'm fine.
You keep spacing out, Jasper. If you trip and fall in the surf, you're gonna die. You know that, right? Like,
he's reminding me of that the Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the guy that just keeps trying to go into song.
Yeah. So yeah, at this point, she's just so past this conversation. She's just like, "Can we get a medic over here? This man,
no, come on. Okay.
This man needs an electrolyte package, and someone needs to check him out for concussion."
Oh.
He keeps spacing out. Yeah, and like a lifeguard comes running over and is like, "Okay, sir, I just need you to come with me real quick."
She's being over dramatic. We'll just
get you checked out real quick, Baron.
I just really want a burger.
I understand. We'll make sure that we bring a burger over to you here at the aid station. Like, he gets a hand on your shoulder and he starts dragging you away. He's like, we'll get you a burger at the aid station.
It was a dramatic dialogue on set of flashbacks. It's a protagonist syndrome.
On set flashbacks, huh? Okay, well, that's a symptom. All right, so for the rest of you, Jasper is being noisily dragged away by a way too peppy lifeguard.
I think that's like one of the few moments where like Kuro looks up and is like, what's going on with Jasper?
You see glinting in the tiki torchlight, your wife is looking at you, but it's like a straight up glare.
Yeah.
I think
you've been ignoring her for the entire afternoon to play with your data pad.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he like puts the data pad down for a second and looks over and
choose your next words carefully, Spartan, for they may be your last.
Yeah. I don't think he walks over to her.
Ooh, wow, words chosen poorly. All right, hit me with the next
part. I think what he does is he walks over to the bar, grabs 2 drinks, and then walks over to her.
Okay.
Like, I know her favorite drink ish.
Okay.
I think I pay enough attention.
What is it?
You haven't told me?
You tell me. You tell me what it is.
All right, sure.
You're the one that's supposed to know stuff about your wife.
That's fair. That is fair. Okay, so let's see. Let's see.
Tequila Sunrise.
That does seem appropriate for her.
No, it doesn't. I mean, from my point of view, she would drink the vodka straight out of the bottle. Everything is straightforward as possible.
How about this? I will get us 2 of like some fine mezcal.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
On the rocks, and I'll approach Jana and like with the I'll you played well today.
Oh.
And cheers to her.
Thank you. And then she gives you kind of like a peppy, like, what you working on?
Well, I know I've been obsessing over my work lately, and
She's finished the drink.
I finish with her.
No, stop. Just stop. This is not Top Gun. Stop it. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. EricVulgaris.
This is not Top Gun.
No.
This is the best.
In order to prank EricVulgaris,
had.
when Stardew Valley came out, I sent Eric a planter and seeds for a number of common kitchen vegetables, with the gift thing from Amazon saying the opening lines of Stardew Valley. So I will absolutely buy a cat spray bottle and have it sent to his house. Stop! Just stop! Just stop. All right, Kuro, what are you saying to her when she asks what you're working on?
I say after taking the full swig of the mezcal, even though it's more of like a sipping mezcal, so it goes down a little harsh. I look to her and I try to like meet her gaze, although there's like a little bit of aversion, just because like that's Kuro. And he looks at her and says, "I'm sorry. I know I've been ignoring you, and
you keep saying you're sorry all the time.
What else can I say?
The truth.
I'm working to clear up what happened in the bombing. And it's perhaps dominated my thoughts too much. When I know what we're building here is important. Building towards the future.
I mean, she looks at you and she just says, I mean, I've been building. I don't know about we. You're spending an awful lot of time with your head in the past, and we need to be worried about now.
You're not wrong. And I think that's kind of when he attempts to like intertwine his fingers with hers. And
you're gonna need a roll for this one. She's not happy. I think it's gonna be a negotiation roll.
I won't play it. My finger was on the button, but I won't play it.
Please, thank you. We know.
Damn it.
We know what you're gonna do.
It's like my worst fucking roll too.
I'm imagining that the scene is happening like way too close to Lachlan for comfort, but he can't walk away because he's at the grill.
Actually, I want to say that like a whole bunch of the planetary nobility are way too close to this scene.
Yeah, because like this is happening like next to the grill, and so everyone's just like,
"Yep, yeah, exactly."
I get my burger or what, man?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it!
You know how family gatherings go. Exactly.
Dude, you can't be holding up the fucking potato salad spoon. Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh,
These are dueling terms.
That's a
all
13.
right. Yeah,
16,
okay.
baby.
For the folks at home,
14,
that's double
14.
sixes. That's some boxcars.
Sorry,
All right.
sorry for all the yelling. I hope I didn't break anyone's ears.
She will take your hand.
And I think in that moment there's like a deep sincerity on Kuro's face that I think she finally sees.
I mean, it's not about your level of sincerity here. It's that you've been lying to her and not spending any time with her and ruining yourself chasing this lead. So let's be clear, you can love her as much as you want. You're just not spending time doing the things you need to do.
I'm not appreciating her love language, which is quality time. One of her languages. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get that. Okay.
All right.
And I think Kuro looks at her and says, I will attempt to find the balance.
Okay, come on. Let's get a burger.
Okay. And
she sighs as if releasing all of the anger that she's been holding in, and finally the food begins moving around again at the beach.
Lachlan starts clapping.
James dives off in the corner. It's like, ooh.
So she launches the remaining ice cubes in her drink at you.
Yeah, okay, that's well deserved. This isn't the first time Lachlan's had a drink thrown at him for acting like an ass at a party.
Right. Well, no, the drink is gone. It's just the ice
Yeah.
cubes. The alcohol was consumed immediately.
I think Kuro looks to her and like it gives like a very wry smile and just gives her a kiss on the cheek and says, "Thank
Oh
you."
no, she uses the drink to block the kiss cheek. Like you end up kissing a cold glass, and she's just like, not here, not now. You need to re-earn that.
Oh,
I think that both were deserved.
All right. At this point, Sebastian Bassett hits the HoloSense, and it starts playing the best of the Beach Boys.
Oh, okay. I'll prove that.
Wow, you were gonna argue with the Beach Boys?
No,
Okay.
no. Like I was like, I'm more just like arguing
Look
against
at
Bassett.
Eric. He's like solemnly like, you don't argue.
No, dude, I grew
If
up
you're on
on
the
the Beach Boys.
beach eating,
I was
grilled
born
food,
in San Diego.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's my jam.
everybody was surfing. Surfing.
In the USA.
No one knows what USA means anymore.
Yeah. Oh my god. But they know what Kokomo is.
No, they have no idea what Kokomo is.
No. So
They
so
assume
fun-
it's a planet somewhere that's been lost to time.
You know what's terrible is that I forget the name of the corporation, but someone bought that island and renamed it.
Ooh, excellent.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Good,
real life
good.
fact. Look it up. Look it up.
Good.
Kokomo used to exist, and then they were.
Got bought.
How do you buy an island?
With money,
it was like a
course.
resort. It was a resort island, and they called it something different. Yeah.
That's out.
Who
Ask
originally
Richard
had an
Branson.
island?
Yeah.
Ask Richard Branson.
What
Yeah,
is
that's what
entity
happens when we
that
have billionaires
originally
in the
owned
world?
the island that was then eligible to sell it is also the question that I have.
It was like
All
the
right,
worst
listen,
marketing
I am
decisions
not-
they ever had.
This is not a podcast about how property rights work. The way you buy islands is with a large amount of money. That is the only answer.
Well, you see, Eric. John Locke once
the
said.
dealer?
No, get out of here.
I want to know who the dealer of an island. Like
Oh my god!
the
It was,
islands.
Countries.
it was a
Like they're in a
resort island.
trench coat.
Ministers of the Interior
Oh
is
my
the
God.
answer to that question.
Oh,
Okay. It is the end of July when two of you receive a unexpected call that tonight is the night where your mechs need to be powered up. You have 2 hours to get your mechs turned on, powered up, and moved to a part of the spaceport. At the same time, you start getting calls off the hook, Lachlan. Someone's just like, yep, the workers are rioting on like one line, and somebody else is just like, chemical spill here. And you're like, this is suspiciously convenient. And when you chart it out, there is a perfect square around one dropship where it would be very difficult to approach it if you didn't have authorization. Someone is setting up a scenario where you people will be able to approach with your mechs and get on a dropship in the middle of the night
Right.
without anybody noticing.
Sure. Yeah. So I think Lachlan will do a lot of like he's gonna do a lot of like what looks like crisis control, but is actually him paving the way for this to happen.
Sure. You're like, okay,
and-
clear out 32nd and 5th.
Right.
Yeah, like we'll be bringing a mech up there in order to break
Yeah,
up the
exactly.
riot.
Exactly. And yeah, you know, he probably told Xenia that he was gonna have to go leave on business for a while, so he'll, you know, go say goodbye and yeah, head out.
Okay. Kuro, you're going as well?
Yes, I think there's a little bit of tension or like not tension. I mean, not a little bit. Actually, it's a lot.
You're disappearing in the middle of the night without telling your wife where you're going.
Yeah, exactly.
There won't be any problem. Immediately
No,
after making up with her about disappearing
Yeah.
in the middle of the night with
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
where are you going?
Now, oh my god.
Yeah, being a noble's tough, bro.
God damn it, AP.
What do you tell her? Do you say anything to her, or do you literally just disappear? No warning.
No, I do 100% tell her.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the Darth Jana theory is about to just jump out in the front.
As like I
Yeah.
feel like as a counterpoint is like Lachlan totally tells Xenia exactly what's happening too, because he knows that Xenia will just not care enough to put together that this is like an illegal military action.
Well, the thing is, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that you're leaving. Kuro's the only one who's put it together, and he never told anyone else.
No, yeah, but I know that I'm like
You know
going
that you're
with
leaving, and it's
Genji on
probably
a sketchy
yeah,
ass thing. but,
exactly.
like,
I think what Kuro, yeah, I think.
Oh my god, I think she probably says something like "Have fun on Valentina" when you leave. Xenia like works it out in her head before you're out the door.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think because I'm trying to think of how this would be, how Kuro would frame this with Janna. I mean, I think he would be honest, just because he knows that there's been some rising tensions with them, and he wants to rekindle that trust, that this is tied to the war. Like, I think that's how he would frame it.
The best way to do that would be to strike first. That will absolutely get your pacifist wife 100% behind you.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, she's the one that's been warmongering a little bit lately.
Yeah, she's been increasing the local defenses, which is not the same thing as going to the enemy
defense
palace.
is a good offense.
Yeah, I mean, that is not something she ascribes to. Certainly, Nace tried to convince her of it, but
yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know how to approach this then, because, like, I mean, I was still.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a week.
A what?
A week. I'll give you 1 week to figure it out. I have to tell you, there is no good answer to this question, but I look forward to seeing what your solution is.
It's like Kobayashi Maru test, buddy.
Yeah, seriously. No, I mean, because I mean, Kuro was still a little bit hesitant because of the implications of what would happen here.
Yes.
So that's, I think, where Kuro is still on the fence about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, do your big damn hero scene. Well, first off, what mechs show up? It's the Black Knight and Firestarter or Raven.
I'm trying to remember what happened. Did we ever get to like fix any of the mechs at all?
You didn't spend any assets toward fixing your Raven.
Yeah, I mean,
I spent asset to fix my Black Knight.
So the Firestarter has a exploded jump jet, but other than that, it's 100% functional.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the ECM is destroyed in the Raven, which makes it really hard to use it well.
I would go for the Firestarter probably based on that, but
yeah.
So it's like Big Bro and Little Bro are standing there. You're getting on a Union class dropship that obviously has the slightly customized dragon. The only custom part about it is that the autocannon has been moved on the firing fist in order to account for his unique tactics. The Union's aerospace bays have been loaded with 2 massive aerospace fighters, including one with Angel painted on the side of it. And there are several, like, they're not military vehicles, they're like technical trucks, and a team of like 10 or 12 mercenaries. It's like the Expendables. Each of them clearly is like a hard-fought veteran. They all have their own area of expertise. The scope guy is clearly the sniper. The guy who's got 6 knives on him is clearly the close quarters expert. The tall guy with a lot of wavy hair and a buff tan body is clearly the leader. Like, each of them has their own story, but we don't care about them because they're infantry and they have trucks.
Yeah. So like, Lachlan and Kuro are like standing next to their mechs with like the helmets by their side, you know, and Lachlan will be like, I tell you, it's a little odd. This will be the first time I've taken the William Wallace out without the full lance since I got back from Solaris. Can't believe we're going without Jasper.
I think at that moment, there's probably like a mech proximity alarm that goes off, indicating that the seismic sensors are picking up movement at the edge of your sensor range. Eric, talk us through this. How does it work?
Dropship, this is Huntsman requesting permission to board.
All of you can see.
And you get it. And
you
the
see
silhouette.
Someone working on the dragon Battlemech who turns and uses like one of the throat mics, and it's Yohei Genji, and says, "This is Paladin. Permission granted. Welcome aboard."
And then as soon as like they like lift him up into the mech bay, it's just like Lachlan just goes over to give him the handshake.
Predator man shake.
Jasper, you son of a bitch.
What? How many movies are we gonna rip off in one day?
You think I could leave you here with these jerks? Of course I'm coming.
Oh my god.
It's good to have you here. I'm still hesitant to leave everything behind right now, but
Yeah, well, I can't leave you off on some other planet with no one here to watch y'all's backs.
Don't worry.
John is going to kill me.
Yeah, well, we should talk about that. And that's the scene.
All right. Everybody gets 4 experience points.
Awesome.
Kuro, you need to figure out what you tell your wife in the flashback.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be some big stuff. Any post-episode thoughts here? I feel like this was a very Kuro-centric episode, despite huge political move by Lachlan that basically gets swept under the rug based on criminal drama.
It's okay. That was good. I like the criminal drama.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that we finally got to some of the investigation stuff. That was good because I think that was something Kuro was like. Well, first off, like I thought we were gonna vote on it differently, and then I don't know. But ultimately, I was glad that we finally did that.
Oh, you've arrived. Now it's time to finish the fight.
I'm gonna have to make a decision some point in the near future if I want to save XP to try to buy an assault mech or if I just want to drop 15 XP on an SPA.
That's always
a rough call. I mean, both of them have some very serious effects.
Well, because
by the way, Huntsman's and Raiden, I'm bringing the Hatchet Man.
Okay,
for sure.
I understand.
I did. I haven't forgotten about my plan to work with Xenia to reverse engineer that device to find some secret mechs. So we'll probably have to do that. I'm assuming that she's just always tinkering at this point. Now that I've talked to her about a new project.
Yeah, I mean, look, how do I put this? 90% of her time is spent like idling. I think she spends a lot of time reading books on how to be a mother and like lying on the ground looking at the sky.
Well, that's an improvement.
Like 10% of the time is disassembling her machine and refocusing it into something that can be used to send and receive messages.
But look, that's a huge improvement, AP. We gotta call it what it is. That's a big improvement upon
you had the rules. You had the rules. You had the moves. What can I say?
So we're good. It's good. It's good news.
We contrast that to Kuro, whose relationship took a nosedive compared to your rapid ascent.
Oh yeah.
God damn. I really want fan art of Jana pushing the cold glass into his face when he goes in for the kiss. And they're both in their beach skin premium outfits. That for me right there, that is the fan art that I want.
Lachlan full dad mode at the beach, grilling it up.
Jasper, little chibi Jasper being dragged away by some volleyball card in the background.
I've been thinking so much about what type of apron design you would have.
Oh my god, have you guys seen Full Metal Panic?
No.
Oh my god. Okay,
Sorry.
You all have to see Full Metal Panic. First off, it's a great anime. But yeah, like the relationship that you're describing is essentially like the romance that happens between the two main protagonists in Full Metal Panic is happening between Kuro and Jana right now. It's great.
Excellent.
Stop lying to your wife. That's what I got for you. Stop getting caught lying to your wife.
I mean,
Stop going on secret military raids that might cause a war when your wife is El Pacifisto.
I scoured Google Images. There is no grilling in the name of apron.
Is that Jasper's?
No, of course not. Mine would just be a schematic of a heat sink about keeping it cool.
I already said
if you can't handle the heat,
grilling in the name of is 100% Bassett's though. Yeah, like that would be him.
Yeah,
I feel like he would definitely be down with Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine, not realizing that he's the man now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the one the song's about.
License to Grill is also a good one.
I already mentioned that Lachlan's got like the tuxedo T-shirt of grill aprons. So
yeah. License to Grill definitely sounds like Kuro's apron.
License to grill.
Oh,
All right,
Oh my
that's
God.
it then. Any final words?
No.
Great.
All right, we'll see you
Great
guys next
game.
week then.
Yeah.